Sean Hannity invited on Cornel West along with some loudmouth right-winger. And they tried to browbeat Cornel West. This was hard to watch. The segment went off the rails. Let's watch parts of it, and then we'll discuss.
Cornel West. Dr. West, 749 cops, rocks, bricks, Molotov cocktails, 22 cops in D.C. hospitalized for concussions. We saw a 38-year police veteran murdered in St. Louis. We have a cop in Vegas shot in the head, 749. Do you support this madness of defunding the police?
Well, let me first say it's just good to be in dialogue with you. God bless your loved ones. And as you know, we just buried old brother George.
We've all there's universal Professor. There's universal agreement.
We got to keep this day has been a very, very heavy day for many of us, my brother. So in talking about
universal agreement,
let's try to be clear about this now. We must have respect, and there must be ability to protect. You have to have police who respect the community. There has to be some community control, accountability of both citizens and police, and recognizing that the deeper issues of poverty, dilapidated schools, housing, shattered family, communities, not enough jobs with a living wage, that generates a despair.
Professor, let me ask you, serious question.
But there has to be democratic control over the police, though,
Professor, I need to ask you. Every liberal big city, Chicago, run decades by Democrats. They've allowed the violence, and they have failed our American children with the most horrific schools in the country.
Goes to the police. They don't have enough housing. They don't have enough education, and they certainly don't have enough jobs with a living wage. That's under Rahm Emanuel. Now, I'm no fan of Rahm Emanuel, but I'm certainly no supporter, as you know, of you and your good friend, Brother Trump himself.
Why didn't Rahm Emanuel? Why did he not fix the violence?
But I'm going to ask you in the name of truth.
Okay, Leo, why didn't he fix the violence? Why haven't they fixed our broken school systems? We have failed America's children.
You know, Sean, you asked Dr. Cornel West the type of question you asked in a court of law. He won't answer them because he's just giving you old talking points. I'll speak to you, Dr. Cornel West, black man to black man. There's looting going on, and you try to confuse. No, it's my turn. It's my turn. You try to conflate protesting and police misconduct. And shame on you. And you're absolutely wrong. You won't address the issue. You will refuse to address the issue because I'm talking to you. You're not my brother. You're not my brother. You are hurting black people by acting this position. You are taking the wrong position. No, my brother. That stuff plays out. That plays out. Address the question. Do you? Oh my gosh! You have lost control. You're a dinosaur. You're an outright dinosaur. You have lost it, sir. I'm not part of your group. I'm not part of your group. You have lost it. You are a dinosaur.
If you can't get along with Cornel West, something's wrong with you. You did something wrong if you can't get along with Cornel West. Because Cornel West is one of the most loving, open-minded, open-hearted, is that a word? Is that a phrase? I don't know. Term, whatever. I have, one of my friends actually ran into him one time in the airport and, asked for a picture. And he was just so kind and happy and willing to engage. And you see this all the time. There's nobody who he won't talk to. And go look at, he went on Joe Rogan's podcast a while ago, and it was just such a great conversation. Now, him and Joe don't agree on everything, but he's fine with that. He's, again, willing to have these discussions and willing to go into places that are maybe uncomfortable for people who are rigidly partisan. So for this guy to treat him as he did, that really is disrespectful and shameful and pathetic. Again, if you can't get along with him, something's wrong with you. So, basically the question from Sean Hannity was a standard Fox News Republican type question, which is, hey, cops got hurt too, and do you agree with defunding the police, and do you think that violence on cops is wrong? It was just like a standard setup, right-wing kind of Hannity framing. And Cornel West's response was, it's good to be in dialogue with you. So it's, nice to talk to you. It's a very sad day because we just buried Brother George Floyd. Then he says, quote, "We must have respect and there must be the ability to protect." And then he goes on to say, both civilians and the police. So, for some reason, they didn't think that was a direct answer. He's saying very clearly, we need to protect both civilians and police. I'm not in favor of wanton violence against the cops, any more so than I'm in favor of the cops doing wanton violence against the civilians. I mean, I thought that answer was very, very clear. They're trying to pretend like he dodged it. And then, of course, you go right back to Sean Hannity, and he goes right back into his talking points. All these big cities are run by Democrats, so aren't they to blame for all this? And Cornel West, I mean, how little do they know about Cornel West? What do you think? He's just going to go out there and flat out defend the Democrats in a partisan way? I mean, seriously, how little do you know about Cornel West? Cornel West would never bite his tongue from criticizing the Democrats. He thinks they're part of the problem just like the Republicans are. So he's not going to defend them. You think that's a gotcha for him? Yeah, okay, so the cities are run by Democrats. Well, and he kind of gets into this. Well, the real problem, we got to get to the root of the problem to fix these issues. And the root of the problem is, the economy is not good in these cities. There's not enough jobs. We need to have sufficient education. Obviously, you can get into the broader conversation about how we police. They should end the drug war to stop, the fuel that leads to the oppression of poor communities and communities of color. Again, we could get into they shouldn't immediately go to use of force. We need to demilitarize the police. We need special investigators and prosecutors, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And Cornel West starts to have that conversation about the root of the problem, which is people living in misery and poverty and degradation. And they just start screaming at him and act like, see, he's dodging it. He's not being straightforward with you guys. Again, how little do you know about Cornel West? He's not dodging. He's not playing partisan games. He's directly answering the question, and you're still going right for his jugular in some weird partisan right-wing gotcha. It's so sad. Anyway, obviously I'm a huge supporter of Cornel West, and I hate that he got ambushed like this. Listen, I've been on Fox News a couple times, and they do try to throw a curveball at you at least once or twice if you're a lefty. On there, they try to throw deal with this, and Cornel West is definitely able to handle that because he's a professional. But when you have a guest who's openly hostile and not even gonna listen to what you say, then it's unavoidable that it's gonna end up devolving into this. So it's a shame. And that guy better go look in the mirror because, again, if you can't get along with Cornel West, there's something wrong with you.